Okay, guys, this is one more quick recording. My Screencast-O-Matic gives me 15-minute windows, and so I just wanted to share a couple of additional ideas with you relating to this whole uh, module on promoting wellness. This PAR-Q is a physical activity readiness uh, screening tool that can be used. And I realize not all of it is in the screen right now, but I'm not able to change my screen. But in essence, it's a form that's used many times with patients when they are beginning some sort of activity. And as you will see, it's kind of a self-screening type of tool. Asking patients, has a doctor told you that you have a heart condition? Do you have chest pain? Uh, Dizziness, bone or joint problems, medications, and so forth. And so it's kind of a nice way to get a quick idea of what a patient's overall activity readiness can be. Sometimes this is used with research. I used it with my dissertation because my subjects were participating in a resistance training program. So this is a way that I could demonstrate kind of a screening process before they began. Uh, and so this is just a tool that can be used. So enough with that. Just wanted to make you aware. Now we're going to look at uh, some slides here. And basically, these slides are just a pretty shocking visual depiction of obesity in the United States. And we have data mainly from 85 to 2010, but I also have some other uh, uh, data on 2020 that I'll show you. But basically, looking at body mass index, 30 or higher is defined as obese. Um, and so this is all from the CDC. Remember, we talked about risk factor surveillance systems. The CDC looks at different behaviors throughout the country that can correlate with health problems. And so that's kind of why they were looking at obesity as measured by body mass index. So in 1990, there were all the states were participating in this kind of surveillance system. And anyway, you'll see, you can read through all these if you want, but basically it's just a way to look. So here is 1990, 2000, 2010. So that's just kind of an overall screenshot of how amazing the change was just in those 20 years. And you see, light blue is less than 10%, or 10 to 14%. You get all the way to red, and then black, that's over 25 to 30%. And so in 1990, there were no states even at a 15% obesity rate. And by 2010, you see all the states down in this area here that were greater than 30% of their population was measuring obese. So what we'll do now is just very quickly scroll through year by year, and you'll just watch the colors change as we look at each year. So there's 85, 86, 87, and we'll just keep clicking through these, and you'll see the really shocking. Now we're in 91, the increase in incidence and prevalence of obesity. Now we're 95, and the dark blue just continues, and now we see our first yellows, which is greater than 20% appearing. Now half the country is over 20%, and now we're 2001. Now we have our first greater than 25%. And so it's really just a sad reality in our country of the incidence and prevalence of obesity. And so now we see down in those southern states uh, really high levels of greater than 30% obesity. Now this is 2015, so sadly it's not in the exact same format as all those preceding slides, but you can still look at this and see the remarkable changes. Now we have dark red being 35%, and so once again this area down here in the central south has quite an amazing prevalence there. So that's just quite a visual depiction of how troubling this obesity epidemic is in our country. And so, once again, let's use our voices to educate the public. Let's try to be examples and decrease our own fast food consumption. Hopefully, if any of us are smokers, we'll stop. We'll try to influence people in our family and in our circles of influence to stop smoking, start exercising, start trying to eat healthier diets, and so forth, and do what we can do to kind of turn the tide a little bit in this very kind of terrifying situation that we're facing. So going back to our canvas here. Okay, so you see the links down here at the bottom for the first two lectures, and there will be a link for this one, basically looking at the obesity rates in the United States. We looked at the PAR-Q. This is the exercises medicine PowerPoint that I talked about. You can zip through that real quick at your leisure just to kind of show this effort that has begun. There's a article about legalization of marijuana in Colorado. Anyway, so just a little bit of additional information there, and you guys take care.